Well, here's just a very short question. Before Utah would be admitted to the United States, they had to renounce polygamy but polygamy, meaning more than one wife for the guys. Let's see. So they had to renounce it, and so didn't they even change the Article of Faith or something that said so that, or did they just do it to get admitted to?
Okay, so the prophet at the time claimed that he received a revelation that they were supposed to stop polygamy. Okay. Convenient around the time that they were threatened with losing statehood status. But for over 100 years after that, the leaders in the church were still doing it.
You couldn't go to heaven, the guys couldn't, unless they had more than one wife, right?
Yes.
Isn't that true?
And where that comes from is Doctrine and Covenants 132. And it's still there. And
But
they have redefined the term spiritual marriage.
Yeah.
Spiritual marriage, when Joseph wrote that, was referring to, or celestial marriage, I forget which one it is, but that referred to being polygamous marriages that have been sealed in the temple. They now just refer to that as being sealed in the temple. As their way of kind of getting around that, but they still practice that spiritually. And what I mean by that is the current prophet right now of the LDS Church has been sealed to more than one wife in the temple, and fully believes that when he gets to heaven, he's going to be married to both of them. They still teach that in the millennium and in the afterlife, that it's essential for you to have multiple wives because you have to populate that entire planet. And so it's still there. And I've actually asked a couple of times, what would you do if the current prophet, and you could see this very easily flying, the more that the direction our culture is going,
the more pluralistic we get.
What if they got a prophet who actually gave a revelation for once and said that God said that polygamy is back on? Even though theoretically it would be possible, what I've basically been told is they believe, like they would point to Moses and they say, we believe that if our prophet goes astray, that God will discipline him. Meaning that the people can't. Even if he, goes way off the deep end, they don't really believe that they have the authority to do that.
So I assume if the prophet said that, they just say, okay.
Well, probably would.
So they would, but at the same time, there is a lot of division within the LDS Church
One of them
right
don't
now.
want to have two wives. They wouldn't like that.
No,
Yeah.
and that there's another issue, which our church is obviously facing too. Homosexuality, transgender thing. And they recently, when I say recently, maybe like a year or two, they issued a statement that the children of gay parents cannot hold the priesthood. And which basically means that until they're adults, they can't hold that. But the priesthood is essential to their salvation. And there's a lot of people within the LDS Church that are like really upset about that. Fighting for, females to hold the priesthood, and that all of those same kind of social justice issues. Like there's somebody who very recently got excommunicated because he has been fighting for them to stop asking in interviews that are alone with young boys, girls, with the bishop, in terms of like their mission interviews or temple interviews about their sexual activity. He was fighting for that to stop, and he got excommunicated. That was a couple of weeks ago. And so there is a lot of division within that, just like there is within the Christian churches.